The way we consume and share news today, it is largely rooted in social media outlets, a reason why it's crucial to look at what's being discussed online. For our daily social media minute, we're joined by Erica in the studio. Good morning.
Good morning.
Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday.
Okay, so this song is everywhere. She's everywhere. It was kind of a song that's unexpected.
Yeah.
I think for anyone. I identify Bibi as definitely more like hip and cool.
Yeah.
And she went
a little
like
bit more sultry.
Yes.
Sort of dark.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then she went bright.
Yeah.
With Bam Yang Gaeng.
That's right. Even the title kind of throws you off. I mean,
it did.
If you are a fan of Bibi, I'm sure you were pleasantly surprised. This is her latest single. And the song is everywhere, like Lena just said. It's landed her on top of Korea's major streaming charts. As of Monday afternoon, Bam Yang Gaeng was at number 1 on the real-time charts of Melon, Genie, Bugs, and YouTube Music. The singer achieved this feat just 13 days after the song was released. It edged out IU's Love Wins All, which had dominated the charts at home and abroad since its release on January 24th. Now that music video has plenty of views on YouTube. I checked out last night. The song Bam Yang Gaeng was composed by none other than singer-songwriter Chang Gi-ha, and it's a really breezy, light, lovely track with it's a waltzy number, and it kind of like talks about the memories of past love.
Okay, so it's not just about the food.
No.
And I was thinking, there's so many takeaways for this because we talked about how, for someone who wants to learn the Korean language, listing these lyrics or learning the lyrics of a K-pop song might be great. Bam Yang Gaeng is hard to enunciate.
You're right.
And say it 10 times and you'll be a maestro. In case you weren't aware, now Bam Yang Gaeng is a sweet dessert. It's kind of type of jelly made with chestnuts, a lot of red beans.
Yeah. So it's not the type of jelly that you're probably thinking about. It's not like the sticky, chewy, bouncy kind. This is kind of like a pasty texture.
Yeah, pasty does not sound appetizing, but we promise you it's good.
Yeah, it's sweet. It's a traditional dessert. It's eaten in China and Japan as well under different names. So the word Bam Yang Gaeng in this song it's a metaphor for simple love or small humble pleasures, the opposite of something grand or a sumptuous feast, right? So basically what she's saying in the song lyrics is, I never wanted anything grand. I never expected something big from
I just needed a Bam Yang Gaeng?
Yeah, I just needed, just your love, your sweet attention,
It's a funny thing when we try to interpret the lyrics because I've heard the song so many times on the radio already and I was like, oh, that's very pleasant. Yeah. But was I really paying attention to the metaphor? Now I am.
Yeah, so it's a metaphor. So the popularity of the song is primarily due to the lyrics, but many fans and critics point out that Bibi's musical makeover, her transformation, was what played a vital role in this explosive popularity of the song.
There's kind of a way to do things in K-pop, maybe led by girl groups and boy bands. You start like fresh and youthful with like less makeup and white, and then you go black.
Yeah, and then, but rarely do artists take the opposite approach.
Right, because it's just so strong. There's such presence, and it would be such a risk to go the other way. Yeah. Now, since her debut in 2019, the 25-year-old has predominantly rolled out songs that are much more dark, melancholy.
That's right. Her style of music even earned her the moniker the dark IU.
Is that right?
Yeah. So the song Bam Yang Gaeng is, at the opposite end of the spectrum in terms of music style and tone. It's bubbly, sweet, and innocent. I've seen numerous comments on YouTube where people have commented just how amazing this transformation is. Some people have even called her genius, for taking this approach. So Bibi's management company, Feel Good Music, said that Bibi has mostly been known for her, she's always been a little unconventional, but this time her loveliness has sort of like really matched up with Changia's catchy lyrics. Many have commented also on how sweet the song is, but also how sad the lyrics make them feel at the same time. So as of last night, the music video had more than 6 million views, and it's just going up.
Going up.
Yep.
I feel like I added at least a good dozen there. It's just
me
so
too.
fun.
And addictive too.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, I have to say this, because so many K-pop songs these days contain a lot of English lyrics.
Yeah.
And a lot of people say, how lovely it is to hear a song that's purely just Korean.
I told you. It's great for a Korean learning experience.
That's right.
And look at her management company, how they spell their name. Feel good music, like G-Hood.
That's right.
She went from Hood to Bam Yang Gaeng.
Yeah.
It's quite the spectrum, I must say. If you haven't heard it already because you live under a rock, it's okay. We got you covered. We'll play for you in just a moment. Hey, Erica, let's move on to a rather clever idea that stems from Yokohama, selling leftover baked goods through a vending machine.
That's right. Japan is known for a lot of things, impeccable cleanliness, hygiene. But the flip side of that in the food industry is that they can end up with a lot of food waste. In recent years, efforts have been made in restaurants and in hotels to reduce food waste in a lot of creative ways.
And this is apparently really successful and a really smart idea at that. Now, one particular method to tackle the food waste problem is getting a lot of attention.
That's right. We were talking about this morning. So unsold baked goods from a local bakery in Yokohama City are now being sold in this sort of like locker style vending machines at a subway station, Kanai Station, on the Yokohama subway line.
We're streaming the image now. Okay, that's how
it
they
looks like a locker, but with a glass window, right? Okay. When this bakery closes for the day at 7 p.m., they gather all the bread that weren't sold, leftover bread, and then they mark at least 30% off the price, and they place these bread in the subway station's SDGs station lockers, so Sustainable Development Goals station lockers, for people who want cheap, good bread. The vending machine has become so popular that lines often form even before the lockers are filled with the day's goods. And needless to say, all the bread inside the vending machines are sold out every day.
I mean, this is so clever. Because you imagine being also the bakery throwing out good bread. Because
I know.
A day-old bread tastes wonderful if you've ever kept it, on your shelves. Now, the problem is stores can't sell it because they pride themselves in selling something fresh.
Yes.
This is brilliant. And the brilliance is we can adapt it in different parts of the world. Right. So simple but creative. It is a win-win situation. Less food waste. People get to buy cheap, delicious bread before the expiration date.
That's right. Now, it's estimated that this effort alone, this one vending machine, can save up to 2 tons of food every year, which is great for, our wallets and also the planet as well. Now, Japanese social media users have responded with, mixed reactions to this news. Okay. Some are in full support of the initiative. A lot of people say, I want one at my local subway station.
I want one at my local subway station.
Other people have said this country wastes too much food. I want lunch boxes and burgers to be discounted too. Just because the sell-by date has passed doesn't mean the food is bad, which is true. But some people have also voiced some concerns as well.
First of all, I wholeheartedly agree. Sell-by date is just a suggestion. It doesn't mean the food goes bad right after that. For example, I discovered tofu, the store-bought ones, as long as it's submerged in water and you never opened it long past the expiration date, maybe not months and months and months, but like a month later, it's
even
fine.
Like milk and yogurt. Just a few days, it's fine.
Just taste it. Do the taste test.
Smell it.
That works better. All right, so you said that some people have raised concerns. What kind of concerns?
Concerns about safety and hygiene. Okay. So say somebody got unlucky and got food poisoning, right? Who would take responsibility for that?
Oh, so it's a liability thing.
Yeah. And also some people say the bakery is also taking a risk because if they are able to for sure sell so many products at a discounted price at 30% off, then fewer people will buy them at full price. They will just simply wait for these lockers to fill up at the end of the day.
Do you really think so? Because I have a lot of die-hard bread fans out there, and they'll wait in line for the fresh baked goods.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
So maybe we're just catering to different types of people and customers. But anyway, you're right, Teresa. What happens if someone gets food poisoning?
Yeah, that's right. So, people are now curious to see if other local businesses will use these lockers for similar efforts to cut down on food waste, because these lockers apparently aren't exclusively for this particular bakery's bread.
Oh, yeah. It could be filled with virtually any other seller's products?
Exactly.
Okay, so let's see what else we can cook up. Maybe it could be the lunch boxes left over from yesterday. And our final story today, now this question is something I ask myself at the year end usually. How do you measure a life that's really well lived? I think the kind of love and kindness you share, that's a good way to be remembered.
We often talk about how the noise upstairs causes a lot of, noise from next door causes a lot of conflict between neighbors here in Korea. A lot of us live in apartments. Here's a story we don't get to hear too often. That's why I wanted to talk about it. So just before moving out of their apartment, this one family dropped off a rather touching goodbye gift to their downstairs neighbors, together with a handwritten note, which said, "Thanks to your kindness and understanding, we have had 10 happy years in this house." And this really sweet gesture was shared on one online platform. And the story has captured the hearts of many people and lots of comments as well.
Because it's such a simple gesture if you think about it.
So the person who shared the story on this online platform is the downstairs neighbor who received the gift. And he came home one evening to find a shopping bag hanging on his door handle, and inside was a box of ripe strawberries and a handwritten note. The gift was, from his neighbors upstairs. The note further read, "We're moving out in mid-March. It's been a joy living above you for the past decade. Thanks for being cool about the noise." They have kids, you see. So the recipient of the gift mentioned that this wasn't the first time. In fact, his neighbors had left him a thank you present. Even though he always told them, "You know what? You have kids. It's fine. The noise is fine. It doesn't really bother me." They continue to show their appreciation. And, like you said, it's actions like these. It's small actions that really show you the kind of person you are and the kind of people that you're raising, And in a world that often feels really hopeless,
divided, angry.
Yeah, this kind of story really brightens up my day, and it really makes me think about my own actions.
That's how I know you're a big person, Erica. Not everyone will, stumble upon the story and think the same, but I do think enough of us do, and I'd hope that you would seize the occasion to maybe extend a kind smile. Because you know what happened yesterday? There's this kind of notoriously mean security guard at the place I work out, and he doesn't want to let any of us park at the parking lot paid for by the gym. But it's really funny.
I don't understand. But.
Exactly. He has no authority, but he's very angry and grumpy. And one day I just bought him coffee and said, "Good morning. So what's wrong?" And he smiled back and said, he had met so many disruptive and essentially people
rude people.
Yes. And I was like, oh, so it's a defense mechanism. And it happens. It doesn't work all the time, but sometimes it works. So
good for you. You're so nice.
And I needed the parking spot.
You're smart too.
See you tomorrow. Thank you so much. If you're listening to our program using the podcast service, just a reminder that we do go live Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. Korea Standard Time. So tune in and help us make the show more informative by giving us your input. See you bright and early on Good Morning Seoul.